This is the entire program for cups and dice. It has class greet and it has two methods. One is init method and one is cups and dice method. But we are importing cup class from the previous dice and cups assignment. So and we have a main function to start the execution of the program. The main function game is equal to greet means it will call the greet method, where the greet method welcomes the user and ask for the name of the user and ask whether the user wants to play the game or not, and updating and giving a balance of $1,000 initially to the user. And again uh, it comes back here and game dot cups and dice. So cups and dice is the this method which asks whether whether the user want to play or not. If the user wants to play, it asks for the it checks the balance whether it is greater than 0 or not. So if it is less than 0, the player cannot play the game and it will break. So if the balance is greater than 0, then it will generate a random number from 1 to 100, and that will be called as the goal. And while true case will be like ask the user how much he wants to bet, and checks whether the bet is a valid bet or not, else it will break the statement. And ask if it is a valid bet, then ask change the updates the balance like balance minus bet, and asks the user like how many number of 6 20 10 and 20 sided dice. So it is calling the cup class, where it will be rolled and show the rolled value. If the rolled value and the goal value is equal, then it will go add some 10 10 into 10 10 into the bet value. And if it is not, it will go to elif condition, and it has one more elif condition. If three of the cases does not go valid, then it will print sorry, not even close, better luck next time. It will again ask for the user whether to continue or not. If the user gives yes, it will go back to the first statement, checking whether while dot self dot play is equal to s, and again this loop will continue unless and until the user wants to exit. And there are one more exit cases, like the user cannot bet a negative or 0 value. Just check, we'll just check the output of this function. So this is like it is asking for how many number of 6-sided die. I'll give just 1 4 and 5, and it will say the goal is like it will ask for name. So I'm just giving my name. It will just ask whether want to continue or not. Yes. So the goal is 44. How it is asking for the bet amount, and it is like 51. And it will again ask for number 1 4 and 5. 1 4 and 4. It is like 295. The rolled value is 295. It is not even close to the bet. It is asking and it is showing the updated balance as 49, whether I want to continue or not. If I give yes, it will continue, and it is asked for the bet amount. If I give 50, which is greater than the bet amount, it will say you cannot bet more than the current value. And if I bet negative values, it will the bet should be more than 0. And if I bet exactly the balance, it will just go through and ask for the how many times to roll the dice and all. That's it. Moving on to the first question, show your primary loop and brag about how clean it is because you practice the top-down development. The primary loop in the code is found within the cups and dice method of the greet class, which is while self.play equal to s till the else of the else and the breaking statement. This loop continues to run as long as run the game as long as the player indicates they want to keep playing, that is self.play equal to s. If the player balance drops to 0 or less, the game ends. This loop is clean and easy to understand due to the practice of top down structure development. Each part of the code has a clear purpose, and it's easy to set a glance at what each part does. This makes code easier to read, understand, and maintain. Moving on to the second question, describe how you leverage the dice and cups classes from the previous assignment. Use the class. Don't store a bunch of values in the game engine that you need. The dice classes, that is 6-sided, 10-sided, and 20-sided, are used to represent the dice that are rolled in the game. Each class has a roll method that generates a random number within the range of possible values for the type of the die. That is 1 to 6 for 6-sided die, and 1 to 10 for 10-sided die, and 1 to 20 for 20-sided die. The get face value method is used to get the current face value of a die. The cup class is used to represent a cup that contains multiple dice. The dice in the cup class can be different types, that is number of each type of die is determined by the arguments passed to the cup constructor. The cup class has a roll method that rolls all the dice in the cup and updates the sum of their face values. The getsum method returns the current sum of face values of all the dice in the cup. In this game, the cups and dice method of the greed class, we create an instance of the cup class. We create an instance of the cup class with a certain number of each type of die. Then use the methods of the cup class to roll the dice and get their sum. This way, we don't need to store a bunch of value in this game engine. We just need to keep track of the cup, only the cup instance. This code is also an example of object oriented programming, where we create classes to represent different objects, that is dice, cups, and use their methods to perform the actions on these objects. It makes code cleaner, more organized, and easier to understand. Moving on to the third question, what happens if the user bets a negative amount and then purposefully loses the game? Do you subtract a negative amount to their account? Okay, the user is not allowed to bet a negative amount in this code. When the user is asked to enter their bet, there is a check in the place to ensure that the bet is more than 0. If the user tries to enter a negative amount or 0, they will receive a message saying bet should be more than 0 and will be asked to enter their bet again. This process continues until the user enters a valid bet. So the user cannot lose a game by betting at negative values. Here this part of code will be helpful to get a valid bet value. So in this game, it is not possible for a user to bet a negative amount. The code ensures that all the bets are positive and less than or equal to the user's current balance. This prevents any issues that could arise from subtracting a negative amount, which would effectively add to their account.